Okay, so today we're going to extend our knowledge from yesterday. Yesterday we did 2 digits times 1 digit, multiplication, short multiplication, right? So today we're going to move on to 3 digits, all right? Okay, so here we have 563 times 7. Remember, we always need to make sure first that our numbers are in the correct columns. Otherwise, we're going to get very confused, okay? So we've got 563 times 7. So if you remember from yesterday, our first step is to multiply the units place. So we've got 3 times 7, which equals 21. Okay, so the units stay down and the tens get carried, right? So 1 stays down and 2 gets carried. All right, what's our next step? We know from yesterday that we're going to now work with the next number in the tens place, which is 6. So we're going to go 6 times 7, which equals 42. Now we've got to remember to add the number that we just carried over. So in this case, we have our 2. 42 plus 2 equals 44. Now, this is where it's different from yesterday. We're not done with our question yet, so we can't just move 44 over. We've got to keep regrouping until we're done. Okay, so we're going to use the same rule as before. The units stay down and the tens get carried. So the units, 4, stay down, and then the tens, 40, gets carried. Okay, and then lastly in this number, we're going to multiply the 5 by 7. So we have 5 times 7, which equals 35. And then we've got to remember to add the 4 that we just carried over. 35 plus 4 equals 39. Okay, now we're done with the question, so we can move the entire 39 down here. Okay, so the answer to 563 times 7 is 3,941. Let's try another one. Okay, so here we have 647 times 4. All my numbers are in the correct columns under the correct place value, so I can begin. So I'm going to start with the units place. I have 7. So 7 times 4 equals 28. Right? And then I have to remember that the units stay down and the tens get carried. So 8 stays down and the 2 gets carried. Okay, so next I have 4 in the tens place. So I'm going to go 4 times 4 equals 16. And then I can't forget to add the 2 that we just carried, so plus 2. Okay, so 16 plus 2 equals 18. And again, I'm not done, so I have to keep regrouping. So the 8 stays down in the units place, and the tens get carried, so 1 gets carried. All right, lastly, I have the 6 in the hundreds place. So I'm going to go 6 times 4, which equals 24. And of course, I can't forget to add the number that we just carried over, which was 1. So 24 plus 1 equals 25. And since we're finished, I can just move the entire number over. So 647 times 4 equals 2,588. And I'll do one more in case anybody wants another example, okay? All right, so here we have 753 times 6. So again, all my numbers are in the correct columns under the correct place value, so I'm ready to get started. So in my units place, I have a 3. So I'm going to go 3 times 6 equals 18. Okay, so again, the units stay down and the tens get carried. So 8 stays down and the 1 gets carried. All right, next I have a 5 in the tens place. So I'm going to go 5 times 6 equals 30. But I can't forget to add the number I just carried, which was 1. So 30 plus 1 equals 31. Okay, and I'm not done, so I've got to keep regrouping. So my units stayed down and my tens get carried. All right, lastly, I have a 7 in the hundreds place. So I'm going to go 7 times 6 equals 42, and then I need to remember to add the 3 I just carried. So 42 plus 3 equals 45. And because I'm done, I can just move the entire number over Okay, so now I have 753 times 6 equals 4,518. Okay, so why don't you go give the activities a try? And if you have any questions, you can find me on Seesaw.